Do the more.
What, bitch?
Do the more.
Yeah, whoa.
Do the more.
Yeah, woo.
Do the more.
Yeah, whoa. Damn.
Niggas tryna flex like Mar.
Like Mar.
Fuck bitches, no ex like Mar.
Yeah.
Pull up and
Yeah, Lilmar, no, for real, that way. Yeah, welcome back to our YouTube videos. Right now, I'm driving through Nashville, Tennessee, and I just want to make a quick little video. It's kind of like a rant in a way, but I'm gonna not really a rant. I just want to spread awareness because I'm gonna be telling y'all why South Carolina needs prison reform expeditiously. Like the whole system is flawed, and there's many ways why it is flawed. I'm gonna tell you all the things that's wrong with the South Carolina prison. Now, even though I never got into any crazy confrontation or anything like that, there was people that did, and there was not even okay. There's just so much, and for one, the main thing was I was held over my time. I was held longer than my sentence. Now, if you guys didn't know, I was sentenced to 90 days shock incarceration, which is supposed to be a 90-day boot camp, basically. But the way the system is, with the Youthful Offenders Act, it's they can hold you for as long as they want. So I was held for 4 months when I was supposed to be released after 90 days. But that's because while you're at Kirkland, none of your time counts. Now, this is why the system is broken. Okay, so due to COVID and quarantine and all that, we were at, you're usually supposed to be at Kirkland for 30 days before you transfer to your regular institution. But due to COVID and all that, it took longer for everybody, the straight timers and the people on the YOA. So, I'm actually in the wrong place. And this bozo in this Range Rover wants to get over at the same time as me. That's a nice Range Rover. I'd hate to scrape that shit up. But okay. So as I was saying, yeah, the people at, the why you're at Kirkland, I don't even know where I was at, so I'm gonna just leave off where I think I should be starting at. While you're at Kirkland, none of your time counts. Now, I mentioned this in another video, but if the time did count, well, even if it didn't, I should have not been held over my 90 days because that was technically my sentence. But the way that the Youthful Offenders Act works is, now if you guys don't know how it works, basically, you only do 9 months or 18 months or 6 months, actually. It's 6 months too for very non-violent minor offenses before you're released on parole. Now, while you're at Kirkland, your time doesn't count for all. That's why Huff is still in prison right now, because he should have been out after 9 months. But he was at Kirkland for 4 months, just like I was, because of quarantine and COVID and all that. So when he finally got transferred to the other prison, he found out that he still has to do a whole 9 months because none of the time counts. So really, he's doing a year and 2 months, even though with the YOA, you're not supposed to do more than 9 months before you're released on parole. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The system is broken because, especially for the YOAs, the youthful offenders, even though we're already getting it's already a privilege to be on the YOA in a way, because we're not straight timers. We don't have to do the real 5 years or whatever they sentence us to. We just have to do that portion before released on parole. So it's kind of like their own little system. You know what I mean? They just kind of do whatever they want. But the way I see it, that needs to be changed because there's no way that people should go in the courtroom, take a plea deal for thinking that they're going to do 9 months, and then the prison system, the Department of Corrections, ends up holding them longer than they're supposed to because they're basically trapped somewhere for longer than they're supposed to be. Now, me and the other 4 people in shock incarceration, we got lucky because when we got transferred to the other prison, they said that the people in shock incarceration, their time counts. So, I still don't even think that's really lawful because, we should have been released. If our time counts, I was held over my 90 days. If they were held over their 90 days, that's not right. So they basically gave us a turnaround after the first week we were there because we had already did our 90 days at Kirkland. So that's why we didn't have to participate in the boot camp. So I don't see how that's right. If our time was counting at Kirkland, then we should have been released right after the 90 days. You feel me? So the whole system is broken, and I feel extremely bad for all the people that were not in shock incarceration because they found out when they left Kirkland that none of their time counts. That none of their time counted while they were at Kirkland. So they have to do 9 months at this other prison. And like I said, the whole system is just broken. It's just broken. Because I'm blessed that, like I said, that our time counted. Otherwise, I would still be in prison right now. I wouldn't have gotten out till June, past my birthday. So I got lucky that they said shock incarceration people time does count. But the regular YOAs like Huff, that's why he's still in prison until September, because none of his time at Kirkland counted. So just tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how that makes sense. Please, I want somebody to explain how that makes sense. It's a broken system and it needs to be fixed. Now, in addition to that, let's start talking about the PC at Kirkland. Now, I never asked for PC because, I was never worried about anything like that. But there were some people at Kirkland that did, end up like PCing out. But, okay, so, like I said, we're the YOAs, the Youthful Offenders Act, we're separated from the straight timers, the people who got sentenced regularly and have to do like 65% of that 5-year sentence, well, that's for non-violence, 85% if it's violent. We were separated from all the straight timers because, that's just how their system is. The YOAs cannot be around the straight timers. So we had our own dorm basically. So whenever there would be a confrontation, like, whenever anything like that would happen, there was no way to PC out. Like there was some, like I rapped about those white boys that got pissed on them and all that, and they were like the run around our dorm, we used to starve them and all type of stuff. Now they ended up PCing out, but like I mentioned, there's no such thing as PC with the YOAs because we had our own dorm, so they couldn't move them to a straight timer dorm. All they did was move them upstairs. There was 2 floors in the dorm. They just moved them upstairs to another cell. And they always came back in contact with one another because when we come back from showers, sometimes the COs will let you take showers downstairs, upstairs, So, no, like it was just a mess. Like I could just imagine if there was somebody in there who was like just really hated, like a really hated person, and they had no choice but to just deal with all these people because there's nowhere else they're gonna go. There's nowhere else they were gonna go. Now, if you did something crazy and like threw piss on the CO's face, you would get sent to lockup. Now, as far as I know, lockup was around the straight timer, so that was the only exception. It was around the straight timers, but they couldn't keep them there. So what they would do is right after they went to lockup, a couple days later, they would ship them out to the other prison. So it's kind of like a loophole. So some people actually took advantage of that way to go to the next prison faster. They would do something crazy, get written up, throw piss in the CO's face, which they can actually get another charge for and get a longer sentence for. They would do that just to go to another prison because everybody was going crazy at Kirkland, just being trapped in a cell 24 hours a day with nothing to do, no canteen, no nothing, just going crazy in there. You feel me? So they would do that just to use that loophole and get sent to the other prison. And they shouldn't have even had to do that. That's insane. Because for one, we shouldn't have been at Kirkland that long. Because Kirkland, like I said, that's why everybody was asking me like, Lilmar, why you didn't work out? Why you so fat? Like that's because we didn't eat anything. I mean, there was no canteen, so we didn't have any good food. There was no, we couldn't like go out to the gym. There was no general population. We were just in a cell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We came out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the shower. And sometimes we wouldn't even, most of the time we were on lockdown, we wouldn't even come out for the showers. We were on lockdown for up to a week straight. We went a whole week without taking a shower. And if we didn't come out for phone calls Tuesday and Thursday, if we're not even coming out for showers. So we would just be in our cell 24 hours a day, locked in a cell with 2 other men for a whole week straight with nothing to do. No, there's nothing in the cell at all. There's nothing. The only thing you do get up to do is eat your trays and that's it. Like, no, there's no point working out because, you're not eating no good food. They can't go to no library. We didn't even have books in there, really. There was nothing. It was insane. So the whole system, I'm not even just talking about the system with the YOAs. I'm talking about Kirkland in general because even the straight timers, like, I mean, they're not as much of a priority because they got to serve years either way. So I don't think they're really affected much by it. But even them, then nobody should have to stay at Kirkland that long because Kirkland was hell. Like, I'm telling you, Kirkland was hell. And I'm not talking about because of violence or anything like that. It's just boring. And it's like, it just, everybody was losing their minds there. That's why all people did was smoke K2 all day. Because that's the only thing that keeps them sane. Like, and prison should not be like that. I'm not saying it's supposed to be some, hotel, like 5-star hotel, but there's no reason people should be locked in a room 24 hours a day, not even being able to come out to use a shower at least 3 times a week. That's ridiculous. Kirkland is broken. South Carolina prison is broken. The Youthful Offenders Act is broken. Everything is broken. And like it shouldn't even take that long to do in a the real problem is too, South Carolina prisons are overcrowded. That's another problem with it. So like all the people that it took them so long to schedule everybody to go to R&E to do their blood work and their physical and get them classified and all that to be ready to go to the prison. But that's something so simple to do. Like that's something they can do the same day they get there. And then they didn't go in any type of order. That also messed it up too. You would have people getting there, getting classified after less than a month or 20 days, and people that have been there 3 months hadn't even been classified yet. So that they just didn't go in any type of order. It was just I don't know what type of order they were going in, but and then they kept losing people's files and stuff. It was a mess. I'm telling you, it was a mess. So I don't even really know where to what suggestions I would have to fix South Carolina prisons. I just know this video is spreading awareness. I just want to spread awareness and let everybody know that South Carolina needs prison reform and why. And that's the reason. It's just we got traffic up here slowing down, so we're gonna go ahead and start braking. Oh Lord, but so yeah, because like I mentioned with the PC, I think Huff did actually ask for PC because he went to Allendale, which is supposed to be a PC prison. I went to Turbeville, which is the regular prison, but Huff did go to Allendale. So most likely when he went for because when you first get to prison, they're gonna ask you if you need a PC. Do you have the are you in gang affiliation or were you in for a sexual related crime or anything? You have the option of saying yes or no. But regardless of whether you say yes, there's no such thing as PC at Kirkland. There's no such, they don't have PC at Kirkland. Even for the straight timers, there's no PC. If you ever get into a confrontation, they're just gonna move you to another dorm, but you're still gonna be in a cell with 2 other people. You know what I mean? So there's no such thing as isolation or just being in a cell all by yourself. There's no such thing at Kirkland. I don't know about the other prisons. I don't know how PC works at other prisons. I don't know. I never made it to that stage. I had 90-day shock, so I wasn't concerned about that. I know I was getting out in 90 days, or I was supposed to. But like I said, it makes no sense for me to have been held over my 90-day sentence, which is not a real. That's the thing. It's not a real sentence. The Youthful Offender Program. I don't know how it's written or the regulations or anything like that, but it needs to be rewritten. And if people in shock incarceration are getting released, or their time counts at Kirkland, because our time did count, that's why we were released after the 4 months that we served. We finally got transferred. And the other wild ways, the ones that got 9 months, 18 months, their time at Kirkland should count too. Huck should be released by now. So I don't really know what else to say. I just wanted to spread awareness on this topic. This is a quick little rant, and I hope to see some changes very soon within the South Carolina prisons, because it shouldn't be like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the real Lilmar. Follow me on Snapchat, Lilmar. And yeah, no, for real, that way.